We're like, what are we doing today? Yeah.
I don't know if my lives have had descriptions on them or my life. I don't know if that did.
No, I kind of just want people to know like where we're starting. So in case somebody like just stumbles across the thumbnail or something and is like, oh, hey, I could catch that book, read that book and catch up. But we're at the end now. So it's kind of like, I don't know that anyone would want to do that, but you never know.
Yes.
I feel like I'm constantly surprised by things, like surprised by the fact that Mika loves Anne of Green Gables.
Yes. Yep. That's crazy.
And there she is.
Hey, Mika.
Hey, Mika. Woo. Mika, are you ready to talk about 16, 17, and 18? Yes, I'm so curious to hear what everybody has to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really was just a journey. Like, it was just like, we got a lot of answers. We did
a lot. Like, I feel like almost all of my answers are answered.
Yes. And what you were saying before this, like, all of our questions are answered, but I don't think the story is over. I want to know more about her life and how it's going to kind of conclude, hopefully, with some sort of happy ending.
Yeah. I'm like, is she going to live in the insane asylum forever? Yes. Mika, and also, nobody's surprised, is a terrible person and a creep.
Certainly, yes, he is. And also, I think we got a slight answer to the fact that was all that official, or was it just Robert? Was all of that official business, or was that Robert manipulating the system in some way? Because there are no record of her being in the military.
Yeah, because I gotta say, I personally did not guess that it was Robert who sabotaged, who bombed the airplane when they were trying to send.
Not at all. No, away. I wouldn't even thought that. I didn't even think about that at all. But no, I
didn't think he was working with the Germans. No. Or,
I thought he may have been working with the Germans, or he was using her as kind of like an using her to hurt, like, the other side's cause. But I didn't think he was the one who bombed it. I thought he was the one who killed Natasha or had something to do with it.
Naomi.
Yes, Naomi.
Yeah,
not Natasha.
Yeah, I did sort of suspect that. But not for the reason that he killed her.
No.
Why did he kill her? Or was involved in killing her.
Why did he do that?
He says he killed her. He says she had to die. I don't know why she had to be tortured to death. But he says she had to die because she ran into Fingertip Man, like randomly, and knew who he was. And he was afraid that she would go and tell somebody, by the way, Fingertip Man was running around in Yugoslavia. We don't know what he was doing there. And that would blow up Robert's.
Yeah. And also Robert.
Who was Fingertip Man sent to kill? Or he sent Fingertip Man to kill somebody. Who?
Yeah. I thought he was sent to kill Naomi. But I guess not.
Naomi just randomly ran into him.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then he because they knew each other, she was afraid he was going to get blown up.
Yeah.
Oh, Mika doesn't think it was official, that he was official government business.
Yeah.
That Robert was playing his own game.
I can definitely see that. Yes. I think that it has to be. I don't know what it has to. I don't know what it could be, but I can definitely see that it could be not. Because how do you get someone into the Robert has all these things. He has to be I think it's possible he could have manipulated all that and it was all not real or not official. But
I think he was official, but I think he had this double agent thing on the side.
Yeah.
He was going to do what he had to do for the British government. But then he also had this other side gig going on that he was going to try to make happen at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised that Amber has no doubt that Robert is the mastermind. I mean, there have to be more people with missing fingertips than just his buddy.
True.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense for him to be the mastermind of all of this because he knew her. He met her when she was 14 years old. Let's remember that, right?
Right.
Didn't that feel, when I was reading that, is this something that's been mentioned before, or is this just deja vu? That like we heard the story of her meeting him
Right.
when she was 14 with her father. Is that?
Right.
I feel like we heard that before. No.
It came up earlier
Okay.
that
Okay.
there were
Good.
these two people at the mines.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she like wondered if it was Robert might have been one of them, and then it was confirmed that yes, he was.
And it was also Fingertip Man.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Mm.
Yeah, we don't have a doubt because we were suspecting Robert all along. But yeah, like Naomi, she should, especially since like I feel like the whole how he ended up like stabbing himself and pinning it on, did he mean to pin it on her? I think he did, right? He wasn't just committing suicide. He like
Yes.
meant to
He
pin
meant to. Yes. Mm-hmm.
to put her away. But it's interesting that
Mm-hmm.
he didn't want to kill her.
Because he's some sort of like, because he's crazy. He's a crazy man. He wanted to just like her manipulate her even more. And I mean, I think that makes sense because he made her get a divorce. Like I feel like he had this all planned out. Like he was like, okay, we're gonna do a divorce,
Just
we're
like
separating,
when
I'm taking
we have it planned out. Like
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he has planned out, but he seems like a crazy person.
And yeah.
He is a crazy person.
Fingertip Man killed Naomi.
Yes.
Yeah. If he didn't kill Naomi, he was definitely involved in it.
Maybe he didn't torture Naomi, but
he was
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was involved in the killing. Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I think Robert's an official agent, but he does a lot of stuff on his own terms. Agreed.
Yes.
Like for a good reason. Like I feel like he is trying to prevent Russia from taking over Yugoslavia, which is, I guess, what happened in the end, right?
Yeah.
And then who's to stop the Russians? Flash forward, 50 years later, who's to stop the Russians from, taking Yugoslavia and then taking Poland and then marching into, Austria, right? Somebody has to stop that. I guess Robert is like, look, if we can like do both things, if we can stop the Germans over here and we can stop the Russians over here, maybe we can save Yugoslavia.
Yeah. He also knew Anna. He knew Anna was dead, and he knew her sons were dead, and her son was dead, and they were pro Russia and they were pro communism. So I guess that's why he didn't care or whatever in that situation, right?
Right. And the Chetniks were the ones who wanted like a free, independent Yugoslavia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Christina.
Hey, Christina.
Hey, Christina. I think it was the Utah whatevers, but that killed her. But Fingertip Man told them she was there.
Oh, okay. Yes. Is that what even they said? Maybe even that he didn't kill her?
Well, I remember this, like, Maud said to Robert, did you kill Naomi? And Robert said, like, not directly, right? Like, I wasn't there. But I feel like he maybe gave the order, like somehow Fingertip Man told Robert where Naomi was.
Yeah.
And that they had run into each other. And then Robert ordered her to be killed. And so I feel like Fingertip Man was involved in the killing, but I don't really know. I feel like we're going to see Fingertip Man again.
I hope so, yes.
I don't know.
So at the asylum or whatever, right? Were you okay? So we're so close to her being able to leave. Yes. And then the pigeons. So she's weaning off the medicine. She's doing awesome, and then the pigeons get bombed, burned, whatever. And I was thinking, those pigeons are going to get burnt.
So because it has to be Robert. Like Robert somehow found out that Maud remembered everything and that she was fine and that she was probably going to be released. How did he find out? Who's the mole? Who's the mole at the hospital? I mean, it's not her doctor, right?
No.
But who else knows?
I mean, She said Jim said something weird, which I didn't see that coming. Jim?
What is, yeah,
Ron? Whatever his name is? You know what I mean? Her friend there.
yeah,
Said something
yeah.
weird, like they're so sensitive or whatever. I don't know. But I don't think it could be him, right? I don't know. I don't know who the mole could be. I don't know.
I don't know.
Were you expecting the pigeons to get killed in a fiery way?
No.
Okay.
But it didn't surprise me. What I was not expecting was for her to go berserk.
Yeah, because she was so close, so frustrating.
And basically she went berserk and started attacking the kid.
Yeah.
And then started killing herself. And I'm like, wait a minute, honey. Like, calma. Like, I
Yeah.
get the birds are on fire and that you're having like a PTSD flashback, but I was like, this girl, now she's never getting out. Like,
Yeah.
she's never getting out. She just screwed herself.
Yeah. And that's why she did it. That's why she tried to kill her. That's why she slit her wrist. Was because she was like, I'm done. Done. Bye. Like she was just like, okay, that's it. I'm never getting out of here, so I'm going out.
Yeah.
Like it just was like it was very, very frustrating to read that. And then that kid,
Yeah.
so Robert had to have told that kid all that information.
Right. Like what to say.
Yeah. Robert is so like it's, and then I don't know. So we got a lot of our questions answered, like the Anne situation, Naomi, not her name, right? Yeah. Her being in the military, not exactly being on record.
Yes. Like that nobody knows she was there or what, like nobody knows.
Yeah.
Anybody, the only people that even know about her being there are Robert and Fingertip Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think Fingertip Man, he might come up and save the day at the end.
Okay.
Because he's already pissed at Robert for something.
True. Yeah, okay.
Although he may be dead by the time we get to that next chapter. People die and right and left in this book. Robert is on top of it.
Yeah.
He cut himself to set her up.
Yeah.
The doc he called was his friend, not her doc. Yeah.
Yes, he told James.
I was so angry at her that she didn't just keep walking out the door, right? When he made that little tin knife and I was like, oh, she was so close to being out the door. And then she turns around, I love you, whatever. And it's like, I mean, it looks suspicious. Like, even if the doctor wasn't her friend, it looks suspicious when you walk in and she's got blood all over her and she's holding the knife in her hand. Yeah.
I think it's also, I think it also is kind of set up of the time. Like, it kind of fits perfectly for the medical system at the time. I don't know a lot about it, but from stereotypes, right? Like, okay, so she goes in a state asylum, boom, right? Okay, she's not believed, boom. She forgets everything, take her child away, boom. And then the minute that she has this breakdown, it's not, she's having a PTSD flashback, let's help her, it's, let's lock her in a straitjacket, boom. It's not, there's not that, like, I don't know, it just felt very, like, okay, there's this woman who, like, did something crazy, put her in an asylum. This woman, like, took her child away, like, wrap her up, like, don't be there for her, kind of that kind of thing. That makes sense?
Yeah, but once you, like, try to kill yourself, like...
Okay, but there's more to it.
A whole different unit. There's a whole different level of, like...
But there's more to it.
That have to go around you.
But when her therapist, when the people around her who were in her taking that, you know, she was in their care, like, and just, like, be like, there might be more to the situation. And kind of help her. She was so close. She was okay.
Someone who's tried to kill themselves just wandering around.
No.
Monitored, like she was in the other unit.
But she did it for a reason, and no one's asking her that reason. She was basically back to being totally fine, and no one there's record of her therapist talking to her all the time and slowly taking away her medication. There's record of the reason they did that. Why is no one just being like, okay, let's talk to her? Why isn't her therapist talking to her? Why isn't the other therapist talking to her? I guess it's kind of like of the time, like that just didn't happen.
I feel like it would be the same in this time. Like once you try to take your life, it's a whole different level of everything. It's a case of going to hell for a good cause. Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah. Like you're trying to, like, I feel like Robert was trying to do the right thing, but like he was just not. Like I don't know, you can't, like, you got to choose a side. You can't
Yeah,
do both sides.
yeah, that's fair. Yes.
Poor Anna. I hoped against hope that she'd survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think, and if Robert was an official agent, he was a double agent. When she questioned him about it, that was when he set her up to go away. Yeah. So the question is, do you think she was going to leave and go tell somebody that he was a double agent? Like Robert thought she
Who would
was. He
she?
was afraid she was going to do that. So
Who
he,
would
like,
she have told?
right. Like if she had gone to MI6 or whatever, they would have been like, who are you? We have no record of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, who could she have told?
Yeah. I think that in that moment, at least what I viewed, it was like kind of like she was Amber, right? In that moment, she wasn't a pregnant woman in labor. She was Amber. And I think she would have just like grabbed her stuff and left and just like was like, this is it now, and then been independent, gotten a divorce, whatever. I don't think she would have done. I don't know. I don't know if she would have done anything.
She might have tried, but nobody would have
Believed her.
believed her. I
Yeah.
would think.
Yeah. She didn't know at the time that she wasn't like a registered military spy,
Right.
but well, what could she have done either way, right?
I agree. I think Robert and Fingertip Man are just as culpable as if they'd killed personally. I do too. I don't know
Yeah.
why Naomi would have to be tortured.
No.
And I kind of am, I guess Robert was so afraid of having his cover blown up because I can't imagine Anna blowing him up, like not blowing him
Yeah.
up physically, but like making trouble for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he made all of these killings happen to protect himself.
Yeah.
Christina knows more than we know.
How much did you read more, Christina? Let us
Yeah,
know. Let
how
us
far
know.
did you get, Christina?
I think we stopped at a good place because
Ooh,
I think we did. Ooh, wait, what? You think
Mika
Jim is?
thinks Jim was the
Ooh,
most.
okay. I can see Jim being a little weird. I can see that there. I don't know what about, but I can see it.
I think Jim was desperate because Amber, his only friend, was going to leave.
Okay, I can see that. I can see it. Maybe Robert in some way coming to him being like, "Hey, do some stuff. Keep her in there, like keep her in there for you and for me." You know what I mean? Um, do we? So what did Jim do? Was Jim like where? So I feel like so where did he do military wise? I thought they said something about D-Day or like
No, that was the doctor. The
yes, but
doctor friend.
also Jim too.
Jim was, all I know about Jim is that he was on some kind of a transport ship that
Oh
sunk.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And like women and children were like clawing at him, and like all of these people died.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what he's there for us, because he, I guess, had mental health issues after that. I don't know. Or you're right. Maybe Robert planted him there.
Yeah.
Because they did sort of show up about the same time, I think. Fingertip Man was involved. He told the bad piece
Yeah.
where Naomi was, and they killed her. But that was his plan, and Robert told him to do it. Yeah, like no mercy for Naomi.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jim was being threatened, I think. Threatened by Robert.
Probably, yeah. That's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, are there any other characters that we've seen in the asylum that was could have been spies we knew about even? So we have her therapist, we have Jim's therapist, we have the leader of the program, right? That we don't ever see.
Okay.
And then Jim, and that's really it, right?
And Ingram's the guy that keeps taking her back and forth, like, to her room.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I feel like it has to be Jim. So that was the goal, I think, to trigger her PTSD so she would go into fight mode.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
He definitely triggered her PTSD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the little boy was told what to say to set her off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had no idea what he was saying. He was probably paid to say it. She noticed that he was sounding somewhat robotic, but then she went into her blind rage. Yeah, it's like she knew in her head that this kid was not like that he had been paid or been told what to say, right? She knew in her head, but then she really went off.
Yeah. Also, like that's the perfect situation to not be believed, right? This little kid was saying stuff from wartime stories. You weren't in war, and he's a little kid, he knows nothing.
Right. Yeah, he totally set her off, which makes you go, for someone to know how to set her off, her doctor? Because I don't know that she talked, I may be wrong, but did she talk about the burning down, like the burning feathers with Jim? Like, does Jim know that this is like?
I don't know. I don't know if I remember that happening or not. I mean, did she tell Jim more than she told her therapist about like being in war?
I don't know. I can't imagine the therapist would be the mole. It's got to be Jim.
Yeah.
But that's a really so it does make you go, who is Jim that Robert could threaten him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I was surprised that Amber didn't catch any of the gaslighting before that. Oh, it's nice that I can come home to you and you won't ask me about work. Yeah. Why was she not asking him about, like, she just was playing this weird role of like the perfect little housewife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And didn't he say that to her, right?
He didn't want to be in that role.
Yeah. Didn't he say that to her like right after she asked him about work?
Yeah. And then she just stops it. And she's like, oh, you're right. I don't want to be that girl.
Yeah.
What? You are that girl.
Yeah.
She was in labor and it's hard to walk out at that point. Well, she was walking out. She was waddling.
Yeah, like she was already on her way out the door, and then you just like.
She was on her way. She had her suitcase. she had Alice's suitcase.
Yeah. Mm.
Why do you think that Robert seemed enthusiastic about the baby at first and then went so cold? Did he think that he didn't need to pretend anymore because by then she was highly pregnant and trapped? I was surprised that he was so enthusiastic about the baby.
Yeah.
Right? That he was like taking care of her and bringing her gifts. And like, I was surprised about that.
I mean, probably. Like, yeah, Mika, probably. Like, right? Like, it has to be.
I guess. And then he stopped.
I don't know.
Mika, what do you think? It's a good question. True. Trying to unalive yourself is not someone who is totally fine. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so both of them, like Amber and Robert, kind of like Robert, I guess he didn't really take a risk because his friend was already on the phone on his way with his doctor's kit. He knew that like whatever he did to kill himself, he'd be fine because his doctor friend was on the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But still, you're not right in the head. Because what if the doctor friend doesn't get there in time? Or what if your pregnant wife decides to finish you off for real?
Yeah. Or just says, oh, he'll be on his way soon. Let's go, like, meet him in the hallway. Let's go. You know what I mean? right?
Yeah.
Like there's
So yeah, anyone that tries to unalive themselves, there's a lot more going on.
yes.
I don't think Robert ever meant to go through with
No.
it.
No, I don't he didn't. He couldn't have.
Robert was not trying to do the right thing. He was playing something and got caught, and he didn't want to get in trouble. But true that, who would she tell?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who would believe her? Who would even let her in the door to talk to them, right? Am I whatever, is not letting her walk in the door and start like,
No.
right?
Yeah. No.
But that does explain why he would not let anyone debrief her. Like, even if he was legit and above board.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because she'd be on and on about Anna, on and on about Fingertip Man, on and on about Naomi. And the intelligence people would be like, who are these people that you're talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's also a way to keep all of that like PTSD inside of her and not let her express any of those feelings and then just kind of like set it off.
Yeah. She was about to get out when she cut herself, and that is not what someone totally fine does to themselves. At least that is what the docs would think.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, stop, Christina.
Christina! Come on! Hold on. Okay, hold on. You have 20 minutes left. Okay, so she's about to read chapter 23.
Oh my gosh. And we have all of these comments. Okay. Mika has a good question. Tina, do you trust Maud's doctor in the asylum? The one that she was doing therapy with?
I trust her. I don't trust the other doctor. Rob's doctor.
Jim.
Not Rob's. Jim's doctor, yeah.
All right. Yeah. I tend to think she's not involved in Robert's spiel. Yeah. I agree. I feel like she somehow is on Maud's side, like trying to get the truth out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do trust her doctor.
Yes.
I think Robert was the one who fed the little boy and Jim enough details to get them to set Amber off.
Yes. I can agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. There was the men that came. Oh my God, you're right. I forgot that those men, like random men, came to talk to Jim, and he wouldn't tell her what they said. And then he made a weird phone, I remember he made a weird phone call, and these weird men showed up, and he wouldn't tell her anything.
Yeah.
So I guess Robert sent those men there.
Oh my gosh.
Using him to help keep her there. He made sure that she was feeling, yes, Jim kept like pushing her to the doves, right? Oh, you should go talk to your doves. You should see your doves. It'll make you feel better.
Like making her an emotional attachment. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Well, this is getting obvious.
So you think Jim was part of the plan all along?
To use him, yeah.
I kind of do. Gaslighting is a newer word, and back then women were subservient to their husband and fathers.
Yeah.
Men sometimes stop feeling the joy after that much puking.
I think anyone would. Yeah.
And the baby went to live with Cecilia and the doctor.
Because I kind of trust Cecilia and James. Like,
I don't trust James at all. I think James, because James did not even, I don't know.
Maybe not James, but Cecilia.
Show up right away with his medical kit thinking, I don't know. I feel like James, I don't know. It just seemed very suspicious to me that James would come running with his medical kit instead of saying, just take her to the hospital. She's in labor. Yeah. Just take her to the hospital. What am I going to do? Yeah. I'm not her doctor. Mm-hmm. But I'd hope that Amber would be able to see through his machinations, especially after her training. Yes.
Yeah.
She seems to sometimes be highly trained and other times completely oblivious.
Yeah.
I told you I'd have a problem stopping. I know, I didn't want to stop either. Getting all excited and coffee. Not all alone make a bad hand. The female doc was not involved. She was trying to help.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's what I was hoping. What if having a baby, hopefully a son, was a payment to his friends? Oh. Ooh, that's something new.
Yes, because when I said I trust James and Cecilia, I meant I trust them to take care of the baby, and then when she's better, they're not going to give the baby to Robert. They're going to give the baby to
They're
her.
not giving that baby back to her.
I thought they were gonna, when she's ready, they'll give the baby to her, and they won't give it to Robert because they don't trust Robert anymore. I guess.
No,
I
why
guess
are
not.
they giving that baby back?
I thought they were giving the baby back.
Although I've been wrong about like everything, but I
No, but
cannot
I've been wrong about things
see
too.
willingly giving this baby back. They wouldn't
Okay.
even let her mother come and visit the baby.
Yeah, but that was by like an order. They're not supposed to do that, and like that's not right. So they they're okay. We won't do it right now, but eventually, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore that. Never mind. Keep going.
I'm like, I don't think this baby is happening coming back to us. So I don't know. All right. So I do feel like we got a lot of questions answered.
Yes.
But yeah, I do still have questions about stuff.
Yeah.
That thought crossed my mind, but then I wondered if Robert really thought he could be certain to deliver. Right. I mean, Amber might have been infertile, or it could have taken her years to fall pregnant.
Yeah.
We do tend to have a blind spot when it comes to those we love. So she probably didn't see what he was doing to her. Well,
Yeah.
plus, wasn't he always getting her drunk and maybe drugging her? Like,
during her pregnancy, he was just like, "Here, have some alcohol. Here, let's go have candy."
I feel like he was always like, she was never quite in her right mind. She was always a little bit like fuzzy about stuff.
Yeah.
Until she wasn't. Until she like saw fingertip man in the flesh bumping into him, and it all came back.
Yeah.
No, they would stick with Robert and keep the baby. I think so too.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can.
Like, once anybody gives you a baby, you're not giving that baby back until someone claws it out of your hands. Maybe Robert was so confident in his manly powers to impregnate her. Yes, manly Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, he's confident. He's confident in a lot of things, this Robert.
Yes.
It is weird though that he's so committed to Yugoslavia when his heritage, he doesn't seem to be like, his connection to Yugoslavia is what? Nothing, right?
Yeah. No.
His family, like he's a white dude from London.
Yeah.
Or from wherever.
Yeah. He's not.
So it's interesting that he wants Yugoslavia to be able to be independent. He doesn't want the Germans there. He doesn't want the Russians to take over.
No. Yeah.
It's interesting that he cares that much about it, because I don't know that anybody else does except for the people living in Yugoslavia.
Mm-hmm.
When they wouldn't let grandma visit or send a pic to Maud and told the child she was dead, makes me think the plan was to get her pregnant and give them the baby.
Okay. Well, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Robert's parents might not be who he says they are. True. I feel like
yeah.
we can't trust Robert at all.
I'm really interested to see
connection with Yugoslavia.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what his real motives are for this whole thing, because this feels like a whole big plan and orchestrated situation, and I'm interested to see what his original motives or his motives are for this situation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right, I am digging this book. I'm liking it a lot.
Yes. So far, what do you think you might rate it?
It's 5.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm thinking a 4.
Ooh. I mean, if the author totally screws it up at the end, it probably would be a 4.5, because I'm like, I like this. I like it. I'm into it. I'm entertained. I'm curious. I mean, it's not changing my life, but like,
it's good. Yeah.
I'm definitely, she's definitely keeping me moving forward in the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She did have to have health assessments before she went to serve, so he would have access to that and known that she was able. Although it's interesting because apparently she was quite the promiscuous Sally
Yes.
and never got
Uh-huh.
pregnant. So it would make you wonder, like, if she was that promiscuous and never fell
Yeah.
pregnant, maybe you would have a question about her fertility. Because I mean, maybe they were using protection, but I would be surprised
Yeah.
since everybody else in the world in the 1940s was falling pregnant. Right?
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if she was using any kind of condoms or anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think they were checking for fertility? Well, I don't think they'd be checking for fertility, but they would be asking her for period. Probably, is your period regular? What's your
Yeah.
cycle? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like maybe like general
Your general
health.
health.
Yes.
Would that be important for a future spy?
Maybe.
If they didn't want her to become pregnant, it would be. It
Yeah.
would be an
Maybe
asset,
like,
right?
maybe like a
Oh,
negative
go off.
thing.
You can be like mistress to Putin, and like we won't, you can be our
Yeah.
spy.
Maybe like
We don't have to worry about having any children.
yeah. Maybe they're more looking for like no, like you are infertile. We don't have to worry about you being pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
For a secret mission, they knew more than she did. They knew Robert was in Yugoslavia. Who's they?
Good question. The general military, like just the military in general, or the government, or
Because I know his friends, James and Cecilia, knew that Robert was in Yugoslavia. You're right. And like we didn't know. And neither
No.
did
Maud, no.
Rod. Yeah. I still don't know what he was doing there. And
No.
I don't know who he sent Fingertip Man to kill. And did Fingertip Man not kill that person? And so Robert had to go kill them? Yeah, they check everything.
Yeah.
Not fertility, but they would check women's issues.
Yeah.
She wondered if she would be pregnant while she was there. Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yes.
After sleeping with Robert and after the attack. You're right. Although it wasn't with the attack, she was more worried about a STD.
Well,
Which is what I
yes. Yeah. Yeah, she was definitely more worried about just like an STD, not actually being pregnant. I didn't know what you meant by the attack. I was thinking the bombing, and then I had like my brain had a process like, no, not that. Yeah.
So can you guys explain this to me? Because this I'm still confused about. And I read the chapter twice.
Okay.
So Robert's Chetnik contacts told Robert that they had captured Stimmer, right? The German intelligence officer. And so Robert changed the drop zone at the last minute so that Amber could go pick up Stimmer so that then they could kill the guy in a bombing. I don't understand why they changed the drop area. Like, why did Amber have to go connect with Stimmer?
What I assumed from that, I wasn't totally sure about it either, but what I assumed was, okay, you're gonna officially meet with this zone here, and that guy's gonna come there. Instead of deorganizing all of that, send a secret message pretending to be the people who are picking up Stimmer and picking up other people, and just say, hey, meet over here. And so they don't have to deal with whoever's coming to pick them up. They just have to fake one and bomb it. So
an easier thing would also have been for Robert to just tell Amber, kill Stimmer. We don't need him. Like, you guys should have shot him in the head to begin with, right? Because remember, Amber was like fighting, no, we got to tell Cairo that we have a German intelligence officer, right? Anna was like, let's just shoot this guy. Everybody else was like, let's shoot him and kill him. Why are we trading our supplies for this guy? And yeah, why would Robert have her trade supplies for a guy that Robert was just going to kill anyway?
I assumed he wanted to kill all of them.
All of who? The
Everybody.
POWs?
Yeah,
Why? Why would you want to kill a bunch of POWs that you were trying to save?
but he's not trying to save them, is he?
Yes, that's why he sent. That was Amber's mission, was to go
Yes,
get
but
POWs and save them.
not that he wanted to kill them, and he was like, I don't care. Like, I don't know. I think that doing that, at least the way I interpret it, was so he could kill Amber.
You think he was trying to kill Amber?
Yeah, we'll kill everybody there. We'll just wipe out this whole area, just so we can just like get it done. Not big group of people, not area. But I probably interpreted that wrong. I'm very curious to see what Mika. Maybe we're both really confused
Yeah,
here.
so let's go here. What do you think? If you have some of those women's health issues, it could cause problems being out roughing it. Right. You don't want to send someone out there to have problems.
Okay.
James and Cecilia. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Said Fingertip Man was there because Naomi went off the mission and didn't ask before she went off on her own.
That's
So
what I
he
thought.
sent Fingertip Man to get Naomi and put her back on, but I thought
Kill her. Just be like, oh, you ran off, you're dead now.
But I thought they randomly ran into each other.
Well, I don't know.
Sometimes the job area gets changed because of changes in where the bad people are. She was trying to do her job, keeping Stimmer for intel, but Robert was the one to make the call to bomb the plane that killed Stimmer. Yeah, but Robert could have made the call, like, without having to bomb the plane and kill all of these people.
Yeah.
If he wanted to get rid of Stimmer, he could have been like, no, we don't need him in Cairo. Just kill him. Just like, and I guess if she had just killed him right away or let Binko or whatever his name is kill him, then we wouldn't have to deal with this. But why not just say, no, we don't need him. He's not going to give us any intelligence. Just kill him, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I think that
he wouldn't want them to interrogate him there. But that is why Stimmer was being so helpful with all the people on the plane.
Yeah.
Because he was like home free and he knew it.
Yeah. And isn't that the point? Like he all of this is fine. He's doing well. Stimmer's doing well. We're about to get these people out. We have this chicken. It's so sweet. It's so nice. Everything's going well. Let's bomb them and make it seem like it's Micah, or let's bomb them and make it seem like it's somebody else or someone we like. And let's just like, if Amber dies, Amber dies. Rana dies, Dana dies. If this chicken gets burned up, grilled chicken. You know what I mean?
It's such a waste of manpower.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
It's such a waste of money. Like, how much money did it cost, and how much coordinating did it take for him to order an airstrike? Right?
Does he care?
And well, his superiors care, right? Whoever's paying for this. Let's have an airstrike, and they're like, "What are we striking? Some random airplane?" Like,
yeah.
It seems like a lot. I don't know. He was worried that Stimmer might blow up Robert's connections to the wrong side. Maybe it would have been suspicious if Robert had outright ordered them to kill Stimmer.
Maybe.
I thought Robert said he sent Fingertip because not because Naomi went off script, but because that he had I didn't know why Fingertip Man was there. He sent Fingertip to kill somebody, but I don't think he sent him there to kill Naomi, or Robert would have said, I sent Fingertip there to kill Naomi.
I thought he did. No?
No, I thought he said, I sent Fingertip Man there to kill somebody. And then Naomi went off script and was wandering around the countryside. And Fingertip Man and Naomi ended up in a village together and recognized each other and maybe talked to each other. I don't know. But then Robert was like, well, crap, we can't have Naomi wandering around after she has seen Fingertip Man, because Fingertip Man is not supposed to be in Yugoslavia. And if Naomi starts talking about, hey, Fingertip Man is in Yugoslavia, people are going to be like, what's Fingertip Man doing there? So that's why he had to kill Naomi.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that he wasn't there just to kill her, but I think he was, eventually he is being ordered to kill her.
And he
Right
still
about
had his fingertip. He
Yes.
still had his fingertip when he ran into Naomi.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he was doing some, so maybe whoever he was sent to kill, he killed, and that's why the partisans caught him and cut off his fingertip. I don't know.
I'm totally confused now.
I think Robert is, yes, I agree. And this is why I kind of thought Robert was involved in Naomi being killed, because she like literally just went off on her own.
Yes.
Stimmer knew Robert and may have been an actual ally. I think he was. I think him, and which is why he was so like, yes, take me to Cairo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's why Robert knew that Stimmer knew too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert was surprised when Ambermont told him that Stimmer stopped the rape.
Yes.
Do you think Robert set up the rape?
How would he? How would he know? How would he know that Stimmer could get out? How would he know that those guys would be there? How
Did he send those guys?
to try to stop?
Well, he knew Stimmer was going to be there because he made a point to drop Amber there so that she could pick up Stimmer.
To try to find Naomi.
No,
Send those guys there to try to find Naomi because she's missing. Like, Naomi's gonna run. Some people gotta be there just to make sure she doesn't run and grab her.
Huh?
Like those. What I mean is,
I'm sure my face was like, huh?
what I mean is they knew where the drop was going to be. I think they knew that it was going to be in a different place than it was supposed to be, right? I think Robert probably knew that. And so they...
Well, Robert's the one that changed it. Robert knew it. He changed it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Naomi is like, I'm going off to Israel or to wherever. Not Israel. I'm going off to a place to help Jewish people. Not Israel all the time, but whatever. I'm going off. And he had those guys there. He had the guys that raped her, or the men that were around when that happened, to stop Naomi and to capture Naomi. And maybe they just kind of like caught Amber. I don't know. I'm making some at this point. I'm not. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not. Don't take that with a grain of salt. Come on.
Oh boy. The wheels are turning in my head. The wheels are turning. All right, handle Naomi. You think he had her killed because she saw him? Yeah. Maybe he didn't send the guys, but he was irritated that Stimmer compromised his own position to help Amber.
True.
Yeah, Robert was not surprised. He wasn't surprised by it.
No, he wasn't. And it seemed like he didn't really care either. He was like, oh, that sucks. Eh.
Yeah. He really didn't care. We've been talking for 50 minutes. And we haven't even chit-chatted about life, right? We have only been talking about these 3 chapters.
This book. Yep. Okay, yeah. we got to get reading so we can finish this book today.
Yes, Stimmer was one reason why she stopped. Yes, because she felt like, like one thing that Ambermont did was she did get very attached to people that were helping her, which is maybe not a good agent way to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Robert would be exactly the opposite. All right, but you're right, Tina. You're right. We got to get reading if we're going to finish.
Okay. So I think we can read. So I have 45 minutes left in my audiobook, which, because the 3 of us, you, and Mika, we typically read at about the exact same speed, and Christina doesn't have to read with us because she already read it.
I know.
So I think we can.
Christina already knows
we can probably,
I'm so jealous.
I only have 45 minutes left at the speed I'm listening to, which is slower than the way the 2 of you read. So
should we read the rest of the book?
Do you want to read the rest of the book, or do you want to stop? Okay, so we have chapter 19, chapter 20, chapter 21, chapter 22 and chapter 23. Why
And
did it
you
count it
do
like that? I
all
don't
of
know.
those in 45 minutes?
So it's a 4-minute chapter, and then a 40-minute chapter, a 17, a 7, and then a 45. Do you think we should read maybe the first 3, and then we can meet up and we can read the last one with Christina?
Yeah. Christina's up to the last. Oh, actually, we should ask Christina if that's a good plan, since she knows what's about to come.
Christina, do you think it's
Oh,
gonna do what
so
happened
read
last
the
time? I
But
say
the
we read the
rest can't
rest.
be 45 minutes. If you said you've got a 7, a 45, a 12,
Well,
and a 45.
that's at 1 time speed, and I'm listening at 2.5. And that's how fast you guys read. You guys speed through this. If we stop again,
I feel like if we can read the rest of this in an hour
then we should
or in
do it.
45 minutes, I think we read the rest of it.
Okay, so we don't do what we did last time where we make it anticlimactic. We just get it done.
Right.
Okay.
I think we do it.
Let's get it done.
And yeah, Christina's already ahead of us, so she doesn't have to read as much.
Yeah.
But I think Mika's right. If we stop halfway through,
We're gonna talk for another hour and a half about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it is true that the last 2 chapters then might be super anticlimactic.
Yes. What do you
And I don't
tell
want that. I'm a
Yes.
5-star on this book. I don't want anything to ruin it.
Okay, Christina, what do you think? I think it's a good idea regardless, but I'm curious if Christina is saying there's like a cliffhanger there, like because she stopped. You know, what I mean, she got herself to stop. So
I need to read it. Well, wait, Christina, what happens? So no,
spoil it.
don't tell us.
No, don't tell us that. Just tell us, like, is it like if we stop there, will it make it anticlimactic? Don't tell us any spoilers.
But why would we stop there? If we can finish it, if we can finish the whole book in one reading session that's not that long, why would we stop there? Why would we stop halfway? Where you are is less than an hour.
Yeah, it is. It's only 45 minutes our speed, and I read the slowest at this speed, so we're around the same amount as the two of them.
I think we finish it and then come back to chat.
Yeah, let's do that then, I guess.
Because then so we will have talked for an hour, we read for an hour, and we talk for an hour.
Sounds good to me. Okay, let's do it.
All right, so let me put on the banner. We are finishing the last, what is it, 4 chapters?
Yeah.
The lines we leave behind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
The last 5 chapters. Okay. Say done when you're done. Save. All right. Show. Okay, hang on. Let me not show. Let me see. What did I miss here? What did I miss? Time changes and a thumbs up. Okay. All right. We're ready to read. Let's finish this book.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
Good. Oh my gosh. I need to find my AirPods, but yeah, ready.
All right. Here we go. Okay, we gotta be done. Tina's all excited. I can see on her face.
That last hour, that's 38 minutes of reading was one of the crazy, like,
I mean, all I can say, this isn't all I can say, but we did the right homework and stopped at the right place yesterday.
Yes, we certainly did. And we read the right amount today, right here in this sprint. We should have finished it in one go, and we did the right thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right.
Oh my lordy. Okay.
All right. Everybody's done. Everybody's blah, 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 blah. Done, 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 done. All right.
Real
Okay.
quick, real quick before we start about this. I just figured I'd tell you, I saw your post, one of your posts about Maddie Dawson, and I followed her on Instagram, and she just followed me back.
Oh, she honestly is maybe my favorite author. I mean, I have a lot of ones that I love, but I am never ever disappointed by any of her books, and they always make me feel happy and inspired and like just good. They just make me feel good. Oh, she's awesome. I like want to be her friend. I feel like sometimes I stalk her too much. And I'm like, but I love her books. And so I feel like I keep talking about them and I try to tag her because I think like every time you want to say something nice about somebody, you should tag them, right?
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's getting stalkery and she's a little bit afraid of me. So I'm always like, should I tag her in this? And I'm like, well, if I was an author and somebody was saying something good about my stuff, I would want to know. But then I'm like, I might be she might be like restraining all
the time. Okay, back to the book.
All right,
didn't mean to get off track.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, honestly, all I'm thinking right now, like this was the like I just can't believe that was happening. But like, all I'm thinking is like life is weird. Like life, it's making me think about life and like how like sometimes things don't end perfectly, but that's good. That's okay. That's great. It's life.
Yes.
And this is realistic. This isn't this happily like we track down Robert, we kill him, we prove to everybody that you're right. And her life is perfect. She raises her son most of his life. Everything's happy. It's just, it's life. Sometimes you don't get to prove to the people that abused you that they were wrong. And they die a happy life. And then you get to be mentally ill you get to be in a mental coma for decades. And then you get to have a little bit of time with your son. And isn't that great? Because now she's going to be like, well, I get my son and I'm happy now. And maybe those last 40 years of sadness is going to mean less because she gets to have a decade with her son. Hopefully.
Yeah. I thought that loved how we jumped so far forward in time. Mm-hmm. And we got to see like how it ends. And I agree with you. I like that it didn't end all like tied up nice so that
I don't, right? But I don't like it.
I like that because it does seem very real. Like that's the real way
it would end.
That it would end, right? Of course, Robert is going to be dead already somewhere after he'd lived a good life. And I am kind of surprised though. Hang on, let me just read comments before I go off on another tangent. Yes, Nika says, I didn't expect her to lose so much of her life.
It is frustrating and I'm kind of angry at the story that happened, but I do like that it is more realistic than perfectly tied up in a bow with a pink bow.
I was surprised though when we jumped ahead 40
Yes, I was. I had to go back.
Still locked up. I was like, oh boy, something really went terribly wrong. Yeah.
It just kept her life just, I don't know, life just
kept going. Died, right? Her parents died, and then her solicitor died, and then the next, like, she just got lost. Mm. Yeah. Christina wants an epilogue. Like where are they 10 years down the road, you know?
I think that's kind of the point, is that it doesn't have an epilogue, because if it, we could have an epilogue with this perfect tied up thing if it went perfect before, but it didn't. And I think that's the point, right? Is the story isn't perfect, her life doesn't end stereotypically perfectly, but it's life. And I think that, I guess that's a good part of the story, but it's fiction. I want everything to be perfect. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
ugh.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about David. It must be so confusing for David. She didn't
Yeah.
tell him everything that Robert did, right? But he knows
No.
his father had his mother committed and that he lied to David about her supposed death.
Yeah.
David seems to be, I'm surprised by David. I think I
Right.
expected him to not be interested in meeting her or to not come or
Yeah.
like David seems to know his dad pretty well in the
Yeah.
sense that he's not that surprised by the stuff that he's learning.
Yeah. And I think that's also confusing because we think that he doesn't really like his dad, and then the story with him and his dad in the pool seemed really
Right.
nice. Like, it was, I mean, I don't know, the way he said it seemed like he was upset at his dad in that moment, but it really felt like a good thing that, like, Robert was
Like
trying
a
to
good
be a good
memory.
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But
she shares good memories. So this whole like thing about Robert was a shitty guy, but maybe he also was a good guy. I don't know.
yeah, I don't like that. It's like, this is the point. It's not supposed to be perfectly tied up, and I wish it was. Like, I wish the story ended with, like, her talking about her being Maud and Amber in one, and how she has that powerful side of her that she could defeat Robert and she could kill him. Or not, maybe not kill him, but get him arrested or something. I just
Yeah.
wish it ended better. I wish it ended perfectly wrapped up. Everything's fine.
Well, because it does make you just feel bad for her because she's right. Like, why did nobody investigate the stabbing?
Yeah.
Right? That the scars on his right side, but she's right-handed, and so she would have had to stab him like this, which would have been stupid.
Yeah. And he was left-handed, right?
She was right-handed.
I thought he was left-handed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he could have blocked her if she was really attacked. Like, no one questioned the story. And
Yeah.
I would be so angry about that. I'd be like, look, you guys had me knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
And like
Right. Yeah.
nobody
I'm
questioned.
furious. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I'm angry for her. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I would be livid. But the thing is, at the end of the day, she's gone through so many years of expressing her emotions, and then being put down with drugs afterwards.
Yeah,
She,
exactly.
in my opinion, not trying to kill herself. I don't think she was trying to do that, but not the trying to kill herself part, but the expressing her emotions very violently, beating that kid with a shovel was pretty reasonable. I'm not saying the kid deserved to get beat with a shovel. What I'm trying to say is this: I'm not saying the kid deserved that. He's a random kid. He's a hooligan. But I'm saying that fury and that anger was correct.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yes, she had. It was Robert.
Well,
I feel like she was
Robert
kind of like,
was not right in anything that he did, but I don't know that it's reasonable to pick up a shovel and attack a boy with a shovel.
that's not reasonable. No, I'm not saying that's reasonable. No.
I'm
I'm
like,
not
oh,
saying
Tina, wow.
I'm not saying that is reasonable. I'm
Okay,
saying being that angry about that situation and the trauma and abuse Robert has put her through is reasonable.
I don't think it's reasonable. I think it's post-traumatic stress.
Yes, but reasonably enough.
I think a reasonable person would not have reacted that way, but I don't
Yes.
think someone with PTSD
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
that can be like a reasonable person.
I'm saying this wrongly. That's what I mean. Like, you can't. They
You
expect her
understand the
to.
reaction, her reaction to it.
Yes. Someone has gone through that much trauma. Now they're
Yeah.
fine. Now they're sane. Now they're just okay. And, like, especially in that time where they're really not helping her process her emotions. They're just kind of like talking about the story.
Right.
And so she's in this state where she's Maud, she's Amber, she's Maud, she's Amber. She's not her, which is Maud and Amber. She's either one. She's very all over the place, and she has trauma. Something very triggering happens, she acts violently because she's been triggered. I'm not
On
excusing
purpose.
that.
On
I'm not
purpose.
excusing hitting a child with a shovel, okay? But, like, I'm not excusing that, but.
But again, she does make, like, a good point. Like, if I wanted to kill that kid with a shovel, I know how to do it, and I could have done it. And I gave him, like, a flesh wound. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, what they do, they drug her for, what, 50 years?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, yo, just, like, let her talk. Let her just have a conversation with you, and, like, she'll be fine. Like, it's not.
Except I feel like she clammed up, right? So she wasn't talking to anybody.
But they weren't letting her talk. I don't know.
Until she saw the Sarajevo stuff on TV, and then she started screaming at them.
What were you gonna say when you said you were going to go through the comments and you had another topic to go off to? I didn't I didn't mean to cut you off and just like go in a place and you wanted to. Sorry about that.
No, I can't remember. It'll come back to me. I bet somebody was going the same way I was going. Okay, for a moment I wondered if all these people really died natural deaths, but what would Robert have to gain by killing her solicitors? I don't know, maybe just keeping her locked up. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't. Did you wonder if Robert had maybe interfered? Yeah.
No, I feel like it's just too far off. Like, there's no reason to write a situation where Robert would be masterminding all of this stuff and just not tell us about it, because we don't get anything resolved with Robert and his master plan. We don't get any of that. Like, we don't know if that's true.
Greece to live out his days. And,
we don't get to know any about if she was really officially part of the military, what that operation truly was. We don't know any of that.
She must have been, because Anna sent a message to the War Office addressed to Amber, and somehow the War Office found Maud.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
but
somebody knew something about her work in Yugoslavia in the War Office, because how else would they connect Amber and Maud?
I don't know. But like, we didn't get any of that either, which I wanted. I wanted resolving of that.
I was surprised that David sees Robert as dad. Me too. I thought he'd been raised by Cecilia and Jimmy.
James. Right?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. Like, I'm curious who really took the parental roles. Like, did they share? Like, I don't know.
It seems like that, right? It seems like Robert didn't have like full custody.
But he was still sort of known as dad. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they only had David while Robert was unavailable. Yeah, I don't know.
But it seemed like he didn't have that much custody of David. Like, it seemed like he wasn't the only person. It seemed like he wasn't the only dad he had.
It's weird that we didn't get more about, now I'm off on a tangent and we don't need to be there, but more about James Holder. Like, I still feel like the doctor had more going on with the story.
And we don't.
I guess not, or he would have been more in the story.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Her fury was reasonable. Her reaction, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean. Yeah. Yes.
But she was also reacting to what he said. Yes, that's right. He was like egging her on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised the boy kept egging her on once he saw what was happening, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I would be like, oh my God, this lady is coming after me with a shovel. I'm done.
I'm getting out of here.
I've said all the words I'm going to say. I'm out. Sorry, lady. Sorry.
I
didn't mean any of it. This is how they dealt with mental illness for a long time. She had electrotherapy too. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And there was no record of what she did in service, so they only know what Robert says.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I wanted an epilogue. She didn't even see Anna yet. Okay, were you guys surprised that Anna is alive?
Yes. I thought Anna was like 30, 40 years older than her. I thought she was like 30 or 40.
Yeah, I did too.
In the war. So she'd be 100. She'd be 90. Because she's 71.
Arguably, no, we do know she is alive because they were writing back and forth.
Yeah, Anna wrote her one time. She wrote Anna, and then that's where the book ends. So we didn't actually get like a secondary.
Anna's letter to her was like way back in 1990. And like, to the War Office, because I wrote down the date. I was like, oh, wait, this date, Anna wrote this letter a long time ago.
Yeah, and so maybe she's already dead by now, by the time she responds.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because Anna hadn't responded to
Oh my gosh.
letter saying, yes, I will come and visit you soon or something.
Yeah, this is frustrating.
But I also was like, I'm glad that they explained how Amber stayed alive, because if it had just been like, oh, by the way, Anna's alive, I'd be like, huh, wait a minute. Okay.
I don't know.
But I still don't know how the War Office connected. Like, it's literally a letter in a blue envelope addressed to Amber.
Yeah.
How did they find Maud from that?
I don't know. That's the thing. I feel like there's so much more that was put into the story, lore wise, conspiracy theory wise, all that stuff, and we never get answers to it. Like, she wrote all of that for naught.
Right.
But it's also
like it might have been taken out by the editing to go, this is too long or too much or too something.
But that's what was that for then? What was this for?
I don't know. Whoever published this book should watch our video and be like, stop taking this stuff out, or else take it all out.
Yes.
All out.
Publishers, stop doing this. Whatever this book said, don't do it again.
Yes. All right. They used electroshocks for a surprisingly long time. I knew somebody in the late 90s who was depressed because his wife died in front of him unexpectedly, and they did that to him. Yeah, I feel like this was a legitimate therapy treatment up until and maybe it still is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems extreme to me. They had nannies and sent kids off to school too, so he may not have lived with either family very much.
True.
Oh, Mika's very happy that Anna is alive.
I am too. Of course I am too.
I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I didn't even understand why we did it. Because like we believed for most of the book she was dead. For about half the book she was dead. Yeah. And then we get one letter that probably Anna never received because she's probably dead by now. So like, what was the point of that? Just like, okay, just like pretend, wrap it up over there, and then just pretend that didn't happen.
I was kind of hoping Robert was still alive so that we would like have like a. I don't think she would have killed him, but I just have like a
showdown.
I don't know, a reckoning of some sort.
Yes,
I don't know.
Something. Maybe not kill him. That would have been a little bit too far, but to have kind of like a I win kind of moment, which
or like I guess what? Why would you do this? Yes, whatever.
Yeah, like explanation of more.
We did say that Amber needs to hurry because that's true. Her letter did say that.
Yeah, I'm getting old. Also, like another thing is like it's the reason why I guess maybe all wasn't wrapped up is how many conspiracy theories are there about World War II or any war really, right? Like it's not. It was a war. It was a horrid war. And I mean, any war is, but especially that one. And like, most of the stories don't have happy endings. Most of those people have had horrible experiences and don't end well. So like, this story can't end perfectly because that's like kind of not glorifying the war, but it's a war. It's a story about war. It's not going to be perfect and shiny and make sense all the way through.
I like that name. I liked it. My grandma had lobotomies because of bipolar. Oh my gosh. So yeah, mental health care was not so great.
No, it's not. No.
Women were also locked up for PMS. Yeah, lobotomies were a horrible thing. I think the doc was part of the War Office. Because he did say like he landed on the beaches of Normandy during D-Day. But I just felt like he was more involved in the nefarious stuff with Robert. I don't know.
Mm. She think
Maybe
James got her the letter.
I don't know. Yeah, Robert
I
got
don't
off. Mm.
We never get answered any of that stuff, so.
It's just nice to know that Anna had a full life with grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true, yes.
And that Micah is doing all right. Although she did have to experience war all over again. Yeah, like it does make you wonder. So Anna's letter came in April of 1990, which is before the Sarajevo, the Bosnian conflict. And so I don't know, we don't know if Anna survived the Bosnian War.
Yeah.
I
And
like
then
but I would have liked to see the reunion with Amber and Anna. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, is there even one, right? Let me see when does part 2 start?
19?
95.
So, yeah, 1990, yeah.
Yeah.
92. Chapter 19 is 1992, when she is watching the war on TV and
chapter 20.
Screaming.
Okay, yeah.
And then we jump to 95.
Yeah, August 1992. Oh my gosh.
Were you born in 1992?
Me? No. 05? No, none of my 30-year-old brother had 2 years until he was born in 92.
Oh my gosh.
My eldest brother, my other brother, who's I don't know, a lot older than that, was born before 92. I guess probably mid to late 80s he was born. So I do have one sibling that was born before 92, but I was born in 2005.
In 2005, you weren't even born on 9/11.
No. My eldest brother,
9/11.
My oldest brother, not my second oldest brother, I guess, who's 30 now. He was in first grade on 9/11.
Wow.
And so I guess my second brother, Jeff, he was my third one, whatever. He was, I guess, in kindergarten or 4 years old then. Yeah. So yeah, no. And my sister Eva, when was she born? She was born in 98. My sister.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jimmy knew what Robert did and helped get her committed.
Yeah.
So maybe he put the letter in the file.
Yeah.
That seems like a nice thing to do for somebody, though. And I don't get the sense that Jimmy or Robert were into doing nice things for her.
Because what she's saying is he probably knew. He had to have known
what she did in the war, and that she was Amber, and that Maud and Amber were the same person.
No, that he stabbed himself.
Oh, James had to know that she stabbed himself.
He's a doctor. If you're saying she gets.
Guess nobody thought about it, and nobody investigated it, and nobody
But he was on the cover for him. He was willing to cover for him, and he was also it was very obvious by a doctor's point of view, and he could have been oh, she did it, and then kind of for his friend put her away. So if we want to say maybe someone knew and didn't, it would had to have been him.
I mean, he immediately also gave her an injection.
Yeah.
To put her completely unconscious. Yeah. So
also,
I'm he was in on all of this from the beginning. He had to be. Why else would he be giving her an injection while she's in labor to put her unconscious?
Yeah. Also, that's crazy. I think about this back in the day, how they used to just completely knock people out when they were giving women out when they were giving birth, just knock them out, and then they'll wake up 2 days later with a baby, and it's just that's crazy that it used to happen. So I guess was that still of the time that was happening? I think my grandmother talked about that. So
I don't know. All right. Mika's my friend Nada died in 95, and she fled the war. She fled the war in Bosnia. Yikes. Wow. My oldest was in kindergarten for 9/11. It was not really a nice thing. He didn't give it to her. He put it in a file. Yeah, that she might never get.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's true. Yes, the men knew how to birth babies better than women did. Yes, of course they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh my gosh.
So Anna's letter must have arrived during that war. Yeah, or before.
Yeah.
Just before.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But nice. I like the idea too that Anna would have tried to reach out to Amber, right?
Yes.
Would have tried to connect.
Yeah. I'm happy to know that she did leave, that she didn't die in a horrible way, and did lead somewhat of a good life, right? And had happiness
Yeah.
afterwards. It's good to know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So what do you think your rating is going to be?
I think I'm giving it 5 stars. I mean,
Okay.
it didn't change. It's not the greatest book I ever read,
Uh-huh.
but I was definitely turning the pages. I was interested. I thought that it kept like the story kept moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I kept wanting to see what was next. I liked Anna. I liked not Anna. I liked Amber Maud.
Yeah.
I liked her as a character. Um, I thought Robert was the right mix of like being a total jerk. And yet then sometimes it was like, oh, well, maybe he is a nice guy and maybe he is a good guy. And yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was well written and interesting and entertaining. And I give it 5 stars.
Hmm. After that part, so I thought not chapter, I thought 4 stars. And then after that, I'm thinking like a
After the end.
3.5. Yes, after reading that, a 3.5, a 3.75.
Ooh, wow, you went down.
Yeah, because I think that if it had ended with like a big like climactic like fight like scene with like very 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 like her being like having more agency and all that kind of stuff and that happening, it would have been a 4 or maybe even higher. But I enjoyed it for like, yeah, this is realistic, but I'm like, I don't why am I reading fiction for reality? That doesn't make sense. So I think it's gonna be I think 3.75.
Okay. All right. All right. Mika, Christina, I like how complex the story was.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, it made me cry.
It almost did. It almost had me crying there.
Yeah, it made me I agree with Mika. Mika says it made me very sad to think of Maud Amber having so many years stolen from her.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mika, Christina, what are you giving it?
Good question.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, no. 0?
It was
Have
I
you
mean
given it a 0? Mm, mm.
it was really enjoyable. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think it was like towards probably what we read on Monday, I guess, from Wednesday. I was really excited to continue.
Yes.
Or maybe no, Wednesday to Monday. Yeah. I was excited to continue last week, but and that's I enjoyed the story. It was interesting. It was interesting learning more about World War II and war that I don't know about, but I wish it ended differently.
All right, Christina says 4.5 to 5.
Okay, good.
For me, it's at least 4, most likely more.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Who picked this one? How did we end up with this one? Is it
Did
one that
Chris-
was left over from our last?
Yeah, did Christina? It was either Christina or Mika, I think, that recommended it. Because didn't Skylar recommend Salt and Broom? No, yes, maybe.
I can't remember.
Because it was like 2 months ago that we had
Whoever
this.
recommended this one, Oh wait, this is the one that you and I voted for when we read Salt and Brew. Is that right?
Yes. We
Okay,
voted for
so
this.
there was one left over, but I don't remember who initially said it. Okay, good. So I'm glad that Salt and Broom was good. This one was good. So far, the Treehouse Book Club is 2 for 2.
Yes, we are.
I think part 2 could have been more. All of part 2 felt like a wrap up. I agree with that.
Yes.
But I really did like that it jumped ahead 40 years. I did not expect to jump ahead that far.
I did not. No, I didn't either. I had to like, I listened to like, what year did they say it was? And then I went back and I was like, oh, the 90s. What do you mean the 90s? Like,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, Christina says oh, wait a minute. Christina's taking in all of the accolades. Salt and Broom was her too.
okay, both of them are your recommendations.
So maybe Christina gets to pick all of our books from now on. Christina, you're in charge.
I guess you picked Vivian, or maybe we could put it Tamika, I guess, but you picked the next one, or did Christina recommend that too?
Christina says Salt and Broom was hers, and
I'm talking about our next one.
The next one. Okay, Mika. It's up to Mika. Wait, I thought we were doing Anne of Green Gables.
Yes, I thought you recommended that.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh, did I?
Who recommended that? Was it Christina again that said let's read Anne of Green Gables? Christina, let us know.
You never read it or heard of it, or somebody said it, because I remember saying 100% there is no way Mika is going to want to read Anne of Green Gables, and within seconds Mika was like,
yeah, yeah,
and I was like,
okay. So that'll be April, right?
Yeah, well, April I maybe, well, not even maybe. I think it's I don't have a ticket yet, but in my mind, I think it is solidified that April I'm in the US. So April might be tricky for me.
What about March? I think you said March you were going to be in the US.
I originally said March, but now March is 2 weeks away and it's not happening.
So are you going to be
March? So we could do Anne of Green Gables in March.
Okay.
Anne of Green Gables. So we're reading the first book of Anne of Green Gables. Is that right?
I guess.
I don't remember who brought it up. I just remember
it.
Yeah, I don't remember who brought it up either. It might have been Skylar or somebody else it might have been Bree, somebody else that was in our chat for whatever reason. I don't know.
Let me see. Hold on. What is it? Is there, so it's like a YA book, right?
Probably. And there's like a whole series. There's a whole bunch of them. The last two were on Christina's Kindle. I just wanted to share both and talk about them.
Well, that happened. Yay. Okay.
Well, we're happy to help you out, Christina.
Yes. There is, whoa. There is a lot of books here.
Yeah.
There's 10 Anne of Green Gables books, or okay. We're only reading one.
I don't want to read all 10.
You do or you don't?
I do not. I do not want to read all 10. But I don't know how long they are.
Let me see. I'll look it up on Audible, see if I can find a not abridged edition, because it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
Anne of Green and Annie or Anna? It's Anna, right?
No, it's Anne, but I don't know if it's Anne with an E.
Spelled with an E. Let me make sure this is not abridged, because we don't want to read that.
It might be middle grade.
Yeah. Green.
I was talking to Coda about reading it too.
Okay.
As a buddy read. Maybe he could join us. Yes, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Best friends, we could do some on his channel too.
Yes, Coda. I don't know if he does on his channel. I know he's on other people's channels.
Okay.
It's 9 hours long.
The first book.
Yes. Book
What?
1 and well, it's my
that seems long to me. How long?
Let me look at another one.
How long was this book?
11
Maybe that's not long.
hours?
That just seems long to me, 9 hours.
Yeah, it isn't. It is long.
No, is
Yeah,
it?
that's
Okay.
what a bunch of them are. It's 8 hours. I mean, I'm sure he might actually like fly through it because it'll be like a middle grade kind of easy. It's also on Audible Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that what we want to do?
Is that what we're doing? I guess.
I'm good with that. I have to
And
admit,
that's
I
in
keep reading
March.
books. They did get to, yay, being a wife and mother is my whole life now for my taste. Yeah, that's what I remember about Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, she becomes an adult and gets married and has children later on.
I mean, she's got 10 books, and they're all 9 hours long. I don't know if they are.
Yeah, I guess.
90 hours of her life. Coda's planning on reading it. Not sure if he started reading yet. He doesn't do his own sprints yet. Okay, well, maybe this is what gets him into the sprints.
Yes.
9 hours at one time speed.
And I'm sure
But the
we'll be able to.
book is great.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to speed it up a lot faster, maybe, because it's going to be a middle grade. It's going to be might be flying through it, depending on the story. I don't
All right,
know
let's do
really.
the first book
Okay. Wait.
in March, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right, so we don't have to start it yet.
So we have the next. So March we're doing it. Oh gosh, I keep hitting this doorstop. In March we'll read this. We'll read Anne of Green Gables, and then in April we'll read nothing, and then in May we'll read Lesson in Chemistry.
Okay.
So we have it kind of a bit of a planned out.
That's a plan. Unless you guys want to jump in on, is it Steph and Stacy that are doing lessons in chemistry next month?
It's happening this month.
Oh, it's this month.
Stacy
Okay.
and Steph, yeah.
Okay.
Which they are part of our Instagram group.
Well, maybe they'll do it again with us then in May, or at least they'll jump in and like comment since they will have already read it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a lot faster.
Maybe not.
They may sound like chipmunks. I like to pretend that it's a standalone. Yeah, I feel like the first book really could be a standalone.
Okay.
Even if it is an easier read, chipmunks are hard to understand.
True, yes.
This is why I never liked cartoons. Yeah, I don't like cartoons. I never have. I feel like I can't understand that voice.
Okay.
All right, cool. I'm excited about our plan.
Yes.
Though I feel like I'm already prejudiced a little bit that I'm not going to like Anne of Green Gables, but I'm giving it a solid try.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll love it.
Maybe. I really don't read like that kind of thing. Like I've never really read any kind of middle grade. Like
everybody says it sounds like chipmunks when you speed up an audiobook, but it never sounds all that different to me.
Try to speed it up a lot quicker. That's what I would say. Is okay if you're like, oh, it doesn't sound fast, just like put it on like 3.5 times speed and try that chipmunk out, girl. Okay, like to be honest, like it's
just faster, not
we're gonna play a little clip of this audiobook. This is on 3.5 times speed.
All right, let's hear.
See if you can chipmunk hear it.
All right.
Mandalay Care Home.
That's not. Nope. Why is it?
Nope, that sounds fine to me.
Why is it so slow? There you go. Okay, we got it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, but it doesn't have this high voice like this. It doesn't have a high voice.
It didn't.
She's still very low. Like a auctioneer.
Mika, you also listen so much higher that your brain's conditioned. Like I can basically understand. I can almost understand what she's saying. Like,
oh,
it's a little bit difficult to process. But if you're like a 1.5 listener and you went all the way up to like, it's extremely difficult to process for me. But if you went up to like 3.5, it becomes kind of like it becomes too difficult to process, I guess. And I would hear chipmunks. I don't hear chipmunks here because I did recently read a book on 3.5 speed, and it wasn't bad. So like it's bad. It's not
I can't
easy
make
to
out
read.
anything that they're saying at what you just played. I can't even make it out, let alone like have time to let it sink into my brain and process what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I can understand probably every other word. I can probably understand every other word that she's saying
oh my
at the
gosh.
speed.
I listen at 3 and I don't get the chipmunks.
Hmm.
It sounds faster, not higher.
I
Yeah,
think
faster.
that if you're I just think if you're such a lower listener and you speed it up, then it gets high pitched because of the
Mm,
speed.
mm.
I think also the way YouTube speeds up audio distorts like the voice and makes it really high pitched. So it's not as not audio. YouTube's speeding up quality isn't as good as Audible's.
Well, that I feel like that makes sense because
Yeah.
yeah. It goes so fast that all blends together. I agree. But chipmunks is squeaky high, isn't it? And I don't get that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying it gets higher. I come from the time of record players, me too, and speeding them up is how they got oh, really?
Okay.
Is how they got the voices for Alvin and the Chipmunks. I did not
Mhm.
know that. Yeah, back then it worked, but nowadays I feel like that doesn't happen anymore because the sound quality is so much better.
Yeah. Hmm.
The sound recording or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess I do remember as a little kid having a record player at my grandma's house, and we would like put it on super high speed and listen to it. So stupid.
I when I first started listening to audiobooks, so like I don't know, couple like probably not maybe not 5 years ago, probably like 7, 10 years ago, whatever. I don't know. But when I was listening, maybe it wasn't 7. What am I talking about? 5 years ago. Anyway, I was listening to that. It was like if I would speed it up too quickly, the voice would sound higher pitch. Even then, like on listening on Audible, it was when I first started reading. So 5 years ago, I was 13, and it did sound a little bit higher pitched. It was just a little bit more difficult to understand. I mean, I guess that was my experience with it, but I don't know.
Mm. Mm. It was a person talking, and they sped it up for Alvin. Interesting.
Ah,
I think they counteract that effect today.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not if they wanted, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's an age thing. There are things that we know that younger people just don't know. Younger people just don't understand.
Like what? Like what are you referencing? What is Christina referencing here? I'm confused for a reason.
Just the like records.
Mm.
There is such a thing as a record and a record player and all the different, like you could play it backwards, you could play it here, but you didn't want to scratch it because once you scratch it, like it's ruined. They were very sensitive things.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like cassette tapes and how you made your own cassette tapes and
Mm.
like the telephone, how you used to like use a telephone. How they actually you used to be able to call the operator to put a phone call through.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
literally there was someone at the end of the zero, a real person who would help you put the call through.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't. I when did that stop? Because I don't remember that at all. I do like we always growing up we always had a house phone and it was always a corded house phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very like I feel like it's interesting. I don't know. I guess my parents are older than people my age's typical parents. My parents are your age or in their 50s, and I was very the people experience on like they were on the house phone and on like the like house computer. They would sit at the house computer on the house phone was connected to the wall, and not like people like that are older millennials. And I also did that. Like we had a house computer. I didn't have any like personal devices at that time or anything. And I would sit at the computer on Facebook, on the phone with my friend, on the corded house phone. And I feel like that's something that I feel like a lot of Gen Z people are like that. We never did that.
Yeah. I feel like it was early 90s maybe when late 90s when the operator went away? Because I feel like we still had the operator in college when I was in college.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I started my David Bowie collection with LPs and cassette tapes.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. And how much money did you spend on that now, right? And now we can we can just stream on Spotify. It's
Yeah.
so weird
Mm-hmm.
to spend so much money. And we used to wait when a first song to come on the radio so we could record it.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then we were all mad when the DJ was still talking when we were trying to record the song. The younger gens talk faster and are more used to tech voices.
True.
Oh, I miss the operator and the tone lady. Time lady. Oh, the time lady. Yes, you used to be able to call and they would give you the time and the temperature.
Oh my gosh, I knew about the time thing. And I've heard people talk about that, but I didn't know it's the temperature too. That's actually really cool. I think that's really cool. I guess, there's so
Can
many.
you imagine that? That was somebody's job. I wish that would be a great job. I would love that job.
Yeah.
I think people on social media talk a lot differently than people talked 20 plus years ago. So much forced vocal fry. I don't know what that means, vocal fry.
Kind of like a California accent,
Like saying every 5 seconds. I do that. That's is my pet peeve of myself, because I'm always saying
I don't know how to imitate it. It's gonna be really bad, but you do that stereotypical California accent.
I'm waiting
Forced
for you to
huh?
I'm waiting for you to do it.
I don't even know
What's
how.
the stereotypical California accent? I don't know.
I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to. It's just not coming out.
Like Valley Girl?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, very just kind of raspy but choppy.
Oh, give me a celebrity. Not that I'm going to know any of these celebrities. Because I only know the old celebrities.
I don't know. I don't know any of celebrities with one.
Okay.
I'm not being helpful. I'm sorry.
Somebody give me a celebrity so I can figure out what this is. Nothing wrong with natural vocal fry. Am I saying it right? Vocal fry?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to look this up. I've never heard of this vocal fry. The internet did not become public until 1994 after I graduated. Yeah, I don't even remember. My first email address was 1996.
Okay.
And it wasn't even I remember thinking, I'm never using this. Why do I even have this? It was not even a thing. And I don't remember actually getting onto the internet until late 90s, I think, was when I got one of those AOL discs, right? To even get on the internet.
Yeah. Obviously I accessed the internet and accessed personal electronic devices a lot quicker, at an age wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? But a lot later than everyone in all my peers.
Oh.
My first personal device, I was 9, I think, and it was a Kindle Fire tablet.
Yeah.
And everybody else I knew had cell phones, had smart cell phones.
Right.
My first cell phone, I was in 4th grade. Maybe a little. Yeah, I was 4th grade. So maybe the age isn't actually right. And in 4th grade, I got a random brand smartphone that it was not an iPhone.
Young to have, in 4th grade seems young to have a cell phone to me, but all of your friends had them.
They had iPhones.
It seems so young.
They had iPhones before I got that. I wasn't allowed to have Instagram. I wasn't allowed to have Snapchat. I wasn't allowed to have anything except for Facebook. And that was it. I wasn't on Instagram until probably after I got an iPhone.
I don't know if Instagram existed. I don't know when Instagram came into existence, because I wasn't on Instagram until last year or something. I don't know. Yeah. I knew that it was out there, but I was I don't know Instagram. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have internet until 96, I think, and then it cost like 6 Deutschmark per hour, which was like $12. Yeah, I remember
Wow.
it being like super
Wow.
expensive, and there were these internet cafes like all over Europe, and you would go in, and it would be like 20 euro a day or 20 euro for a couple of hours just to use the internet. And I was like, and then like the only thing I ever did was check my email. So I never
Yeah.
even did the internet, probably because I didn't know
Yeah.
how. Or I'm like, what would I even be looking up? Right? It just like wasn't a thing.
Yeah. And I think I guess as someone who had more like limitation to the internet, I feel like I have a much healthier relationship with the internet than like a lot of people. Like I just feel like
Yeah.
I was taught to be very careful about what, like I was like, nope, you're not allowed to have Instagram until you're like what, like 12, 13.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to message people. If anyone messages you anything that could be received in any way, you tell me. Not anyway. If anyone messages you, you tell me and we talk about it before you even respond.
Right.
Even if it was in a good way, or even with someone who's normal, it was always talk. I have to tell them.
Yeah.
My parents, them, as in
Yeah,
that, right? Like reasonably enough, and I think that that's a good thing because I feel like a lot of people in my generation like the things and then people would talk about. You know what I mean? Things that my brothers were teenagers and they were like, "Oh, you see that video about that guy who got murdered?" And then they would watch it and show my parents. And I'm like, I'm not even on that side of the internet.
Yeah. I
Which is
don't
a
want to
good
be on
thing.
that side of the internet. Oof. At the time will be 2:26 and 20 seconds. So ours, when we would call, it would be at the tone, the time will be 2:26 and 20 seconds. And the temperature is, or it would just say, the time is, maybe it was a different telephone line. Maybe time was one, and then you could call a different one. It was time and temperature. Because what I remember it saying is, the time is 5:52 and it is 48 degrees or whatever. Like it would say that. But maybe it was two different numbers. Vivian, you do. Oh, I'm a natural vocal fry. Really?
You do it. I think you do it. Yeah.
It's that California that I. Oh, okay. I do. I say like all the time. Like. It's like this. It's like that. It's like that. Like I just like. Yeah. I know.
I think if you looked up a very stereotypical accent of vocal fry, you would know. I can't do it. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm a natural, I guess. Like when we go like to the store. Yes, exactly. This is what I'm doing. It's a pet peeve of mine that I do all the time and I hate.
I use it all the time, and I think it's. I don't know. I used to be very like, oh, I'm using it too much, but it's like that's how I talk. That's how I express myself. So
It's how I talk when I'm being casual. I
yeah.
don't do it I don't do it in a formal setting, but when I'm just hanging out and being natural
Mm.
and on videos, I notice I do it a lot. And I'm like, oh, why am I doing that? Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's not really an accent, but a raspy voice quality. It's my raspy old lady voice. Oh, good. I don't feel alone. I never heard of vocal fry either. Good. I'm not the only person that doesn't know what is going on here. I need to see if I can find a good example of forced vocal fry. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about Bruce Springsteen? Is he a forced vocal fry?
I don't know.
I feel like he's got that. Whatever. It always makes me afraid that, like, I don't know, he's gonna hawk up a lung or something when he's trying to sing. It seems weird to me that a 4th grade or 9 years old have phones. That's what I think too.
Yeah.
And Tina was behind the times.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, Wikipedia says a way of speaking in which the voice is very low pitched and has a characteristic rough or creaking sound. But I feel like the creaking is more the forced vocal fry. Well, this is Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. I don't
I don't enjoy Bruce Springsteen. I feel like I I don't know how he does a concert for 3 hours or 2 hours or however long he does concerts for, because I can't imagine how his throat lives through 20 minutes of a song, because it's
Yeah.
just so, like, forced.
Mm.
Anyway, I use Internet Cafe every week for 1 or 2 hours. And did you go broke, Mika?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They were both born in 69. My dad in January and my mom in November. Yeah. So I believe they're maybe towards the, I don't know where specifically, like middle, beginning, or end of the generation, but they are Gen X. Yeah.
They're sort of near the beginning, because that's where I am.
Okay.
Vocal fry is not an accent or a certain vocab. It's the way that the voice is formed. Oof. Okay. Like is used like the
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that is true. Or dude. Sometimes I say dude. I used to say dude a lot more. And then I thought, why am I saying dude all the time? Who am I?
Yeah.
Or here in the UP or Canada, A.
Yeah.
Ooh, Christina, you saying A all the time.
I put not put on a Canadian accent. That would be insane. But
Give it to us.
No. I kind of put on a little bit of like a New England accent, like kind of like I guess Philly. I guess a little bit of that because I grew up in Philly, but I put on a little bit of like Canadian, that kind of side. If you want to say the Canadian, New England area generally. That makes sense. I don't know. But I kind of sometimes put it on when I say things. Like I'll say, I know that I'm doing it. I'll say like bag instead of bag.
Oh.
And it just kind of, I did it for years kind of joking. And it kind of just comes out now.
And now you're natural.
Yeah. And I say, did it for years. And I just say y'all all the time. And now that I live in the South, I feel weird. Because I'll be talking randomly. I'll be like, y'all. And I'll use it anytime to say you guys. And
yeah, I'm trying to get out of saying you guys, because I used to say that all the time too. And sometimes like my natural thing is to say you guys, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what if they're not guys? Like I need yeah. So
yeah,
I'm trying
I use you guys very neutral, like gender neutrally, I guess. Like
yeah.
I call my parents you guys. I'll be like, hey, you guys anywhere? Where you guys at? And they'll be like upstairs. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, where are they at? There they are. So I use it to do that. But I say y'all all the
This
time.
is
And
what
then
I like about the Portuguese language. They have like a specific whatever, and German too, but like and French, like they have, and Italian. The Romance languages. Maybe all languages have this, but English doesn't seem to have it. But there's a whole conjugation for a verb for you guys, where you don't even have to say like the pronoun or the address. You just conjugate the verb in that way, and it means I'm talking to you all, you guys, all of you.
Yeah.
What? That I don't have to worry about like saying who I'm talking to. I can just use a verb.
Yeah.
Oh, the Kardashians have the forced vocal fry. Huh.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. I'll have to listen to some Kardashian. My kids did not get their own phone until they needed them, like when they left school to do something, when they were at school where there was a phone, or with adults that had phones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. When I started, I guess I got I don't know, but I got like a phone plan when I started to need it. So I lived like 3 minutes away from school growing up. And so once I was like in 6th grade and could walk home from school by myself with my parents having
Why did you need it?
In case something happened. Or when I started going on sleepovers, which I started in, I think, 5th or 6th grade, which for everyone around me was like old. Like they were doing sleepovers in 1st grade. My parents were like, no, that's not happening. Reasonably enough. I'm not blaming them for that. But I started it when I was having sleepovers so I could call them, or if I was walking home by myself. Yeah.
But is there no like phone at the house that you could use to call? Like, would their mom and dad not let you use a phone?
I guess in case I got kidnapped or something, in case I because that's my parents' thing is like, what if like they're like
I feel like the
kidnapping
first thing the
house?
kidnappers are gonna do is take that phone away from you.
In case I need it and can't tell anyone, in case everyone's asleep and I want to call them, in case I get I can hide if I'm getting kidnapped, I can hide it somewhere, and then you know what I mean. They'll teach me how to do that because my parents are very like they passed down their OCD and anxiety right to me, and so they're like, here's how to not get kidnapped, and then they'll teach me that. They'll teach me that like immediately.
This is how to use your phone secretly.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was like what, like I don't know, probably around that time I started going to people's houses and stuff like that. It was like you should just have your own phone because you might need it. I also was like, yeah, I definitely need my phone. Like, what if they're sleeping? Like to get a phone because I wanted one. Because like that was at the time where I guess like minutes stopped being used by everyone I knew.
Who? What?
Minutes, like you get minutes on your phone. You get a number of text messages or a number of minutes you have for calling. You know what I mean?
I vaguely remember this.
You pay by minutes. So you'll pay for 60 minutes and you have 60 minutes of calling, and one text is 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So to look at a text you received, that takes away 1 minute of call time you have. To send a text is 1 minute of texting.
Okay.
And if you call and you spend a phone for half an hour, that takes away 30 minutes, and you pay for like a couple 100 minutes a month or something like that, or 100 minutes a month or whatever. And I was like, I don't want minutes because that's old. That's old people stuff. I want unlimited text, unlimited calling.
As a 4th grader.
Yeah. As I think it was probably when I think I had limited calling and unlimited text. Or yeah, I think so. And so it's kind of like limiting it. What did they? Maybe it was. I think it was also a deal. The phone was like a kid's first phone kind of thing. Like it's got tracking, and my mom can monitor what I'm looking up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's also, I guess, a safety precaution. Is like I can track you in case you do get kidnapped.
Right. For a video about forced vocal fry, the vocal fry epidemic by Abby Normal. All right, how can I cut and paste this? No, I can't. Okay. When it's gendered, the opposite is gals, and that has bad vibes because that was what they called Black women. Men were boys unless they were old, then they were uncle or mother. The boys were mother. Old
Maybe like
men. The men were mother. They called
maybe any women, because I was just reading this book. What was it? I don't know what it was, but maybe any woman is mom or mother. As like
it's like she's saying men were boys unless they were old, and then they were uncle or mother. The boys were uncle or mother. Is that what you're saying, Christina?
I don't know.
I'm not sure when I got my first mobile phone. I think it can't have been before the year 2000. I'm trying to think mine too. Mine might have been around slightly before that. As a child, what I need to call them. Yes, I scrounged together loose change and found a phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was always like a landline somewhere that you could call.
Yeah.
Everybody had a landline.
Mm-hmm.
Prepaid cell phone.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. A prepaid phone, you're paying for these prepaid minutes. Maybe, I don't know. My parents just were always like,
worried about kidnapping. Was kidnapping a big happenings in Philadelphia back in the day?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay, so the area I lived in was very, I guess, my parents thought it was dangerous. There was a person that I was in dance class with who was kidnapped around the corner from where we lived. It was very violent where I lived. There was a bar next to me, and there was a bus stop, and there was very violent shootings, kind of kidnappings in front of the house. And we got the police, and they did nothing. Anyway, not the point. Point is that yes, I think my parents were just scared that something was going to happen to me. Like I wasn't allowed to be alone with any of my extended relatives. Like my girlfriend lived across the street, and my parents like, no, you're not staying alone with her or your uncle. No sleepovers until I was like 14. It was all very just like what if something happens to you? So I guess they were always very worried, which I think now looking back, I'm like, that's pretty reasonable to not want your, their 12, 13, 9-year-old daughter to sleep at someone's house where like their dad is at. It's just like, they're very just like,
Right.
my mom doesn't
If you don't know people, you shouldn't be sending your kid to their house.
Yeah. My mom didn't know all those kids, nor did know their family situations, or she did know them because she volunteered / worked at the school and knew that their parents were crazy and would leave them home alone for a day while they went out to a club. Because my mom knew everything because she was in the drama circle at the school, and so she knew that, she followed her on Facebook, so she knew that Allie's mom went out at once a weekend and got drunk and didn't come home, and she was like, no, you're not staying there. Of course not. Why would I let you do that? You can't not walk across the street without holding my hand until you're 9 years old, because what if a car hits you?
Well,
That's a legitimate thing that happened.
Mika's still using prepaid. I think I sort of am too. I'm Vodafone pay as you go. So that's sort of prepaid.
Yeah, you don't have unlimited.
I do have unlimited, I think. I think I do have unlimited. Unlimited calls and texts, but I only have 2 gigs. I only pay for 2 gigs of internet.
Okay, yeah.
So that's basically unlimited for me. I've never come anywhere close to 2 gigs.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had an unlimited data plan.
Yeah,
Right now,
the phone they sell unlimited data plans.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess not.
The
phone I have right now.
The most I've ever seen is 10, but it's been 100 years since I've been trying to find a data plan. We were told horror stories about kidnappers when I was in elementary school. Stories you do not tell young people. It still scares me. I would never tell my kids these stories.
Well, imagine I was told those stories, right? I was always like, my parents were like, if you're ever lost, if you see a woman, here's the person you go to, a woman with children. If you see a man, never. Rather be lost than go near a lone man. A lone woman, no. A man with children, I guess. And a woman with children was the best option. And that was like, they just told me all this stuff. Like, we're not going to tell you what happens when you get kidnapped, but you don't want to get kidnapped. Here's how to not get kidnapped. Here's what you do if you get kidnapped. Here's how to defend yourself. This is why we don't let you walk across the street without holding our hand. I think I understand why now, but 9-year-old Tina was like, that's dumb. No one's getting kidnapped, except people I knew did get kidnapped. So
that's so bizarre that people you knew got kidnapped.
I mean, I guess that might be a little dramatic, but one person I knew did get kidnapped. Yeah, and that's like, it's just like, I don't know. And it's very, I guess looking back on it now, it's like our area was very violent, and I just didn't know it. Like, one of our neighbors, like, he was crazy. They were crazy people, and they didn't really believe in the cops. They believed in like settling things themselves.
Of course.
So like, our street had like people that were like, I guess like traditional Irish people who were like very like anti-cop and very like pro like beating people up outside of our house because we live next to a bar, so that's where you do it, right?
I guess if I'm gonna get in a fight, it's probably outside a bar.
Yeah.
We told horrible stories, really drilled in our heads to never go with strangers. Yeah.
Yep.
Once the mother of a girl in my class stopped next to me in her car and asked if I wanted her to drive me home, and I said, no, I cannot drive with strangers. Because strangers are anybody not in my family.
Yes. Strangers are anyone that isn't my mom or my dad or my siblings. The uncle that lived across the street was also someone I was not supposed to go near to alone.
Well, I remember a very uncomfortable hug that I received from my uncle one time, and that was the last time I was anywhere near that guy.
Yeah. It wasn't, they didn't really do anything wrong. They were just like weird, I guess. Like, they weren't like, they didn't do anything strange or anything like that. It's just my grandma was like old and like mean and like just very just like not I wasn't supposed to. And I guess they didn't want my uncle, my aunt apparently like took my siblings out to like my oldest two brothers to like get school supplies and stuff like that. And by the time that my aunt and uncle had children, they were like, we don't want to take anyone to get school supplies, let alone our kid. And so me and my sister didn't get to do that. Which I mean, I definitely like feel like I judged.
Look at the woman you are today.
Yes. I've never been kidnapped. I've never been in a car with a stranger. And I've never seen someone get murdered online. And that's a good thing.
Safe and sound and excited to read Anne of Green Gables.
Yes.
So wholesome. So wholesome.
And I'm grateful that they, did all the stuff that I as a child hated. I mean, I think most people are.
Yeah, parents are supposed to protect their kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This seems not helpful to me, though. For parents to tell that kidnappers would hide under your bed and take you in the night and send your parents your hands and feet. Like, that seems unhelpful. How are you supposed to get your kids to go to sleep if you're telling them that?
Yeah. It was, I guess my parents were always like locking every door, checking every window, which is reasonable. That's where we lived because people have tried to, a person tried to break in.
You think the kidnapper is going to knock on your window. Hello, little girl, let me in. Would you like to come with me? Like they're going window to window looking for victims.
I mean,
that's like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
That is the plot of a book. That actually is the plot of a thriller where a bunch of children get kidnapped by people who knock on windows.
It's like Hansel and Gretel. Like the kids are actually like falling for it. Oh yeah, sure. I'm gonna climb out my window in the middle of the night.
But I mean, there was freaking weirdos in our neighborhood. Like, down the street when I walked home from school, there was like a house, and there was a man who was, I guess, mentally disabled. He apparently had fallen off like a 20-story building. Ooh. And he would kind of try to talk to people, like talk to my mom, like weird. And I'm not criticizing him because he's mentally disabled. I'm criticizing him because why the hell is he talking to us for no reason? Anyway, and he gave our neighbor, who's like 5 years old, like candy. He was like, here you go, have some candy. And my mom was walking around school like, why would you accept his candy? Like, that's not, you can't just take candy from strangers. She's like, I do it all the time. And mom's like, that's like, what if like his parents were the crazy Irish people. And it's like, that's just not, like, isn't that the first thing you teach your child? Don't take candy from strangers.
And then we'd let them go trick-or-treating every year.
Yep. And I mean, tell me if I'm the only one whose parents did this, but my parents would go through every piece of candy and make sure it wasn't open, make sure there was no slits in it, make sure, like, kind of massage it a little bit, make sure there's no, like, drugs or razor blades. Nothing that was shaped like a pill, no powders. So, and like any sort of stick that had powder in it, no lollipops because they could be easily, like, opened up and put stuff on there. Nothing like that. No, like
lollipop anyway. That's crappy.
I wanted the lollipop.
No, it's a crappy candy. Nobody wants the lollipop.
Anything that was slightly unwrapped, no. What are those, Smarties? No Smarties.
Smarties are not a great candy either.
No, but it could be easily swapped out. It could be easily swapped out for a pill. Why are people wasting their pills on little kids? Like, why are you doing that?
To kidnap them, apparently, in your neighborhood. Stranger danger was a huge thing. Never mind that children are more likely to hurt by relatives or family friends. True.
Yep. Mm-hmm. True. And I was never alone with any family members.
Yeah, this whole thing about like they're cutting off your feet and ankles or your feet. That's like
that was not something that like my parents ever taught me.
Your teacher did a very bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was never a thing that we had, I don't think, of anyone doing that.
No. Cutting limbs off and sending them back was never part of my understanding.
Once I got older, I guess it was like they would tell me what they actually thought was going to happen. Like, no, you're not going over to this girl's house and sleeping over because she has a father who might hurt you. And they would like, my dad, like that's the kind of thing that they would be like, no, I don't want if whatever. So they would, I guess, be a little bit as I got older, but not I guess not to the point that it scared me, like nightmare kind of scared me.
Right. Trick-or-treating is not a thing in Germany.
Okay.
I would take mine, but then throw out the candy and buy your own. Really? I think Halloween started being a thing when Harry Potter became a thing.
Okay.
Halloween was a thing long before Harry Potter, but maybe not in Germany.
Yeah.
So where I lived somewhere where it wasn't Halloween, but it was a different holiday. So in Portugal, it is another holiday where the kids get dressed up in costumes. And I don't know that they go around asking for candy, but they might.
Like there's
And
a lot of
it's not Halloween.
is similar named.
It's a different holiday that they do it because and I can't remember, it's something like in the summer, I think. And now all the little kids are dressed up for Carnival, or not now because it's Ash Wednesday, but yesterday, all weekend, they've all been dressed up for Carnival, which is cute to see all the little kids.
Today's Ash Wednesday?
Yeah, I think so, isn't it?
We're not Catholic anymore, so I have no clue.
I think it is. Yesterday was Fat Tuesday.
Yes,
Today's
today's Ash Wednesday.
Oh, red light, green light touch thing. Yeah. In Germany. Is there another holiday in Germany that people get dressed up, that kids get dressed up in costumes? Most of what they said didn't really scare me. Just the things they should not have told children. But then I started watching horror movies and reading Stephen King, so I'm a bit jaded now. Yeah, and I don't watch horror movies, and the only Stephen King I read is the one about JFK. And it's not really scary, except for there's a little scary part in it that doesn't seem like it really belongs. But I can just sidetrack that part because it doesn't really seem like it belongs in the story. So I just pretend it's not there. And that's how I'm not scared. But yeah, like I tried to read and watch the movie Misery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, nope, no. Nope, can't do it. I can't.
No.
Fairy Tale. Oh, okay. Fairy Tale wasn't scary or gory either.
Okay.
Well, that's
also
good.
by Stephen King. Huh.
Maybe I should pick that one up.
I haven't really been interested in any of Stephen King's books. Like one came out recently called Holly, and I kind of want to read it because my cat's name is Holly. But I'm sure there are other books that are about that have Holly in the synopsis that I can read. So,
Cool.
But aren't scary.
Could read that one. Okay. All right. So we have 2 weeks of like regular sprints then, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. I am definitely reading that one.
All right.
Fairy Tale is kind of a retelling of Wizard of Oz. All right. I'm going to remember this.
All right. Yes, we have 2 weeks of regular. It's only the 14th. We read this one pretty quickly, didn't we?
We did. Well, we did
4
it
sprints?
in 4 sprints.
Yeah. Whoa.
Holly is part of a trilogy that comes after another. So you have,
I have to read 6 books.
Yeah, just read Holly.
I'm
Christina, you read all of these Stephen King books.
Good question.
Oh, and they're like a murder mystery type thing.
Holly, okay, that's not as bad because I like murder mysteries. I'm getting into thrillers, so
yeah,
maybe I'll look into that.
We could start the next book. Or should we? I think we should wait until March. I think we should do regular sprints. No? What do you think? I don't know. We should start Anna Green Gables on Monday?
Do you want to? Then maybe we could read another book in March.
Let me keep scrolling, see what other people are saying. Carnival. Oh, yeah. So the other thing, carnival or fashion. It used to be a very traditional thing with traditional dances and costumes and parades. Okay, so it's just not Halloween. It's a different day, and maybe there's no candy involved. I don't have all of them or read them yet. I just sprint and hear people talk about them. The first trilogy is the Mr. Mercedes.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's how Halloween is too, I feel. It's mostly adults getting so drunk they vomit in the
Yeah.
streets. Or it's adults it's women using it as the opportunity to dress as slutty as they possibly can and get drunk and vomit in the street.
Aren't most holidays like that as adults? Like, isn't that like you could say Valentine's Day could get that way, or like anti-Valentine's Day holiday. Christmas could do that as well. St. Patrick's Day
Well, St. Patrick's Day, yes, for
is
sure.
just about getting drunk.
That's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is.
New Year's, it's about getting drunk in a sparkly dress. I mean,
oh, okay. Hey, that sounds like a good holiday then.
Yeah.
It's like, so I went to the Tomatino in Spain where they throw tomatoes at you from the trucks. And I feel like having candy thrown at me would be a lot more fun.
Maybe a little less painful.
And less painful. Coda hasn't read it yet. I was just checking in with him. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't want anyone throwing a sausage at me. And I don't know what Medbrockton is, but I feel like, and I probably don't want it thrown at me either.
No.
Oh, all right. So we got more people that want to read this with us.
Okay, cool.
So, and they're in Vanessa Sprint right now.
Okay.
So we should see when they want to, if they really want to do it with us. When do they want to start on Monday, or do they want to like start in March?
Yeah.
So we should pose the question in the Instagram.
Okay.
And add them to the Instagram, or ask them if they want to start if they really want to do it with us when they want to start.
Yes. Are you messaging them in Vanessa Sprints, or are you messaging them somewhere else? Because I don't know if I follow Coda or.
I don't know who either of these people. I've never heard these names before. They just went back to Sprint, so it might be a minute. Okay.
Right.
Pork tartare on a bread roll. Oof. I don't think I want that thrown at me. I feel like I have
Tartare is raw
for this parade.
Tartare is raw, right? So raw pork on bread thrown at you with sausages.
It can't be raw because you can't have raw pork. Right?
I guess you can do whatever you want, right? Like I've watched.
Are you eating Met Brotchen? Or they're just throwing it? Tartare is delicious though, but pork tartare?
Like, isn't pork tartare just...
Can't you isn't it like it has to be cooked to a certain temperature? It is raw.
I've seen in other countries people eat raw chicken. And I've seen that as like a kind of like a sometimes thing. At least on one video.
Yeah, and chicken is something that they say you can't, it needs to be a certain temperature.
People do a lot of things that they might maybe not shouldn't.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this, Mika. I feel like you need to stick to the candy. Are they throwing candy? All right, so we may not know about Coda and Queen Victoria.
Yes.
Until later.
How about you just you can just message the group chat, Christina, and let us know who wants to join, and then I can add them. I don't know if anyone else can add them, but if they want to be added and you can add them, Christina, you can add them or send request or whatever. Have them. And
Skylar said she might want to grab our next book too. And who else said they were going to join us next time? Maybe I can't remember, but yeah. You notice you can only buy tartare in shops that have to follow very strict rules.
Yeah. Maybe it's like not pasteurized, but like cooked to kill the germs, but not cooked.
Right.
Very lightly boiled, like sous vide or
Or
whatever.
like ceviche, where they like cook it in
Lime,
vinegar and lemon
vinegar.
juice or whatever it is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's raw fish. They're like, no, it's cooked. And I'm like, it's raw fish.
Yeah. There was no heat applied. That's my problem. I don't care about
Yes,
lime
there
or
was
vinegar.
some kind of cooking agent applied to it. Maybe that's what they do with the pork. Ooh, Coda and I are reading Cell by Stephen King starting today. Ooh, is it scary?
Probably.
Nicole and Stacy might like it too. All right, so Christina put it out there. So let's just check back in with the group about whether we're starting on Monday or whether we're starting
Yes.
next week or whether we're starting the week after or when we want to start, like when everybody is available to actually start the book. It's like with sushi, the fish is raw, so you need to be careful. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. But I feel like the only problem with eating raw fish is parasites. Like typically you can eat fish raw. It's not unsafe. The bacteria isn't the problem. It's the parasites.
Right. Okay, Christina's checking something.
Right.
I just did my nails today, and they're already, the tips of them keep getting like caught in my hair or on my skin. And I'm like, what? I just painted you. Why are you catching on things?
Yeah.
So
I don't typically paint my nails because I chew my nails, so I'm like they're gonna be gone. So I typically just paint my toenails because it's scary.
I
I
haven't
guess the
painted my
answer is
toenails
yes.
in months, and I keep thinking every time I go to do my fingernails, I'm like, oh, I should just throw it on my toenails too, and then I don't because I'm like, well, I'm wearing socks. Nobody ever sees my toenails. Yes, is it scary? Vivian asks about a book. Yes.
Yes, we are asking that.
Well, because apparently Fairy Tale is not scary, and 11/22/63 isn't scary. And somebody told me there's one other one that isn't scary. It didn't sound very good, but it's apparently not scary. But yeah. Ugh. But at least Stephen King is scary in like M. Night Shyamalan or whatever is scary, but that man is sick scary, right? And
Yes.
Stephen King is scary, but it doesn't make me like it's a lower level of terror in me. It's still terror, but like M. Night Shyamalan, no. I can't even watch. Like if I'm in a theater and they start to show a trailer of his, I have to leave because even hearing it, like I can't even just close my eyes.
Yeah.
Like
that's right. Almost every scary movie, I can't even hear about it. But I've actually been enjoying watching spoilers for movies, like spoilers for scary movies, and that has helped with my fear of it because I know how it ends, and typically they really don't talk about the gore; they talk about how it ends, and so you can get kind of like, ooh, that's kind of spooky, and then a good ending, unless it doesn't end good and it's just more terrifying. That's happened before with Smile and also with The Martyrs or whatever it is.
Okay, what she was talking about was not sprints. Hannah is reading it out loud live. What is she reading out loud? What did I miss something? And how is she
reading Anne of Green Gables?
Oh, she's reading Anne of Green Gables out loud. I guess it depends on how you define scary. I mean, books like Billy Summers are not monster scary. I love scary movies, but I like subtle scary, not jump scares and gore.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't mind gore, but I definitely don't like jump scares. I don't like any movie that has scary music.
Yes.
When something is happening that the producer or the director feels like they have to throw in scary music with it, I'm out.
When it's like, so when it's audio, when I'm reading a book or listening to a book, I can do gore.
Yeah.
And I can't do it on TV. When it's like emotional, like some sort of abuse, some sort of that kind of like emotional mental violence, I can do it on TV, but not in a book typically. Because that's less, I think it's less like you're less in the brain and you're less in the body when you're in a book. Like you're less in a brain when you're on TV because you're just seeing it. You're less seeing the body when you're listening to the mind hurting the body. That makes sense?
Yeah. I get it. Genres: horror fiction, zombies, thriller, science fiction, post-apocalyptic family. These are your favorite genres, Christina. Oh, no, that's what
about
it's about. Cell. Okay, let me go back. Horror fiction, zombies, thriller, science fiction, post-apocalyptic fantasy, apocalyptic dystopia. Stephen King. Huh.
It's just like that level book, that book about that prison and all the levels of it. And how it was like the food gets on one level and then it keeps lowering. And then the people at the bottom don't get as much food or don't get any food really.
Oh, and they become the zombies?
No, they just like fight. Like that movie, and then there's just like Snowpiercer where it's like there's like the people in the front are rich and it's like medium, not as good, like poorer as you go down. They don't really get good food, like kind of like a Snowpiercer situation. Whatever that movie is called. My brother really likes those things.
Oh, Hannah is reading Anne of Green Gables out loud. Okay.
Hannah the teacher, is that what her name is on? Is that her name on YouTube? Maybe not.
We'll see. I used to say I hate zombie books and movies, but then came The Girl with All the Gifts, and your mind was blown. King does have some that are not scary or gory, but I'm the wrong person to ask since I don't scare easily. There is a movie, Sal, with John Cusack and Samuel Jackson.
I don't know.
Oh, cell means cell phone. Really?
Oh, this is
You're thinking of a different movie.
Yeah.
Huh. So Stephen King wrote a book called Cell, and it's about something with a cell phone. Huh. No, not Hannah the teacher. Hannah the reader, apparently. Hannah the reader of Anne. All right, guys. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Mika, did you do anything fun? My Valentine's Day is pretty much over. Yours is just beginning.
All right. I am going to be eating some candy and eating my lunar truffles, and I'm gonna try to read. What I've been doing the last couple of Valentine's Day is I'll pick up a shorter romance book and I'll try to read it in one day, or I will read it in one day. And I'm gonna read Times Change by Nora Roberts, which is a category romance about time travel.
I like the title, Times Change.
Yeah, I think it's Times Change or Time Changes. Either one.
Either one. I like the
one
title.
Is plural. I don't know which word.
Oh, Hannah's on the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Right. Christina, do you have big Valentine's plans today with your boys? All your boys. All the boys in your house. Oh, I'm going to start Sal. That's not romantic.
No,
or maybe it is. I don't know.
Probably not the good kind of romance, right?
Well, I'm going to go wash all of my dishes, which I'm not looking forward to at all. Days like this, I wish I had a dishwasher.
Maybe you can play some music and...
Oh, speaking of dishwasher, I have good news. I heard back from the electric company, and they are going to compensate me for my washing machine. So the repairman today came and picked it up to have a look at it and have the electrician guy see if it can be repaired. Because I need to send in a report to the electric company to have them, confirm that it really doesn't work, or I guess to see if it can be repaired and how much that costs, or if I need to buy a new one and how much a similar, like what the replacement
would be,
to figure out how much, to figure out if I'm repairing it or if I have to replace it and how much they're going to give me to do whatever it is that I have to do.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully by next week, I will have a new washing machine.
Hopefully. Yes.
Hopefully. Yeah. So that's my big news. No,
Yeah.
Christina's got no big plans. Coda said he can push Anne until March. All right.
All right.
That works for me.
Mm-hmm. And then I can add him to the Instagram. I just don't know. I don't follow him on Instagram, so I'll have to find him and then follow him.
Okay. Yeah. Christina, if you know his info,
Yes.
share it.
Okay.
All right. Is that it for tonight? Are we done?
I guess that is, yeah. We've been chatting for an hour about basically nothing, right?
About other stuff. That's fun though.
Yes. It was very
Because
fun.
we dove right in on this book.
Yes. We got it done real quick.
Yeah, for sure. She says she's planning on March. Okay, so cool. Then let's do March. Anne in March.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So we'll have 2 weeks of regular old sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works. That's great. I can do some favorite strawberry sprints. So.
And I can do my Portuguese book.
Yay.
That's good. I need to do that. So I'm glad we're doing just like 2 weeks of sprint so I can get back into the Portuguese book. Like that is actually perfect for me.
Priority, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day, you guys.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day.
Which is it. So yeah, they're in Vanessa's if you're gonna head over there.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. I am going to head to the kitchen and do, although I guess I could have them on in the background while I do my.
Yeah, maybe that'll make it interesting.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll put them on. Maybe I will go over there and just have you guys in the background while I'm doing my dishes. So yeah, maybe I'll see you over at Vanessa's.
Yeah. All right.
All right. See you, Mika. See you, Christina. Goodbye, Tina.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me. It was very fun. Bye-bye.
Bye. End.